The recent India-South Africa series has exposed the problems, the woes and troubles of the Indian cricket. It seems the Indian cricket has become Kohli-centric. Ever since Virat Kohli took over the captaincy in the Indian team, the entire scene has shifted to Kohli. And as such, I may be correct in calling that the Indian cricket has become Kohli-centric. Never ever in the history of Indian cricket, the game depended so much on the whims and fancies of one man. And at the moment, the Indian cricket is running at the whims and fancies of the captain Virat Kohli. One may recall when Alan Kumble was the coach of the Indian team, Kumble had his own regime he had charted out his own course of action for the team. Somehow it did not go down well with the captain Kohli, and as such there was clash of ego between the two superstars. And since the Indian cricket is so much bent and inclined towards Kohli, Kumble had to quit. In came Ravi Chadurvedi. Having seen what was happening from the wings, he knew it pretty well. He has to carry out whatever Captain Virat Kohli wanted. And as such, Ravi Chadurvedi became a subservient to the wishes of Virat Kohli. Now, unfortunately, the captain doesn't realize one thing, especially when the tour for South Africa was planned. It was very clearly exposed that instead of playing a friendly match, the Indians opted for net practice, and it did not do any good to the team. And therefore, it is both the team management as well as the Board of Control for Cricket in India to be blamed for the initial setback which the Indian team suffered on the tour of South Africa. Now, when you come to an analysis of all, if we look at the good old days when the tours were planned, whether it was India, whether it was England, whether it was Australia. In England, say for example, the cricket calendar starts from April itself. And the first match is played at Worcester County. Now, this is a practice which has been followed over the years ever since cricket took a firm ground in England. Even in other countries also, before the first test match was played, there were at least 4 to 5 test matches. In fact, in England, you play for roughly a month before you play your first test. And therefore, it gives sufficient time to the touring team players to acclimatize their body, their sleep cycle, and also their cricketing abilities to the local conditions. Unfortunately, it did not happen, and India paid dearly in the first 2 test matches. Now, it seems Kohli does not realize what is good for him is not good for others. I am particularly distressed at the failure of our top batsmen. They are very talented batsmen, let me tell you. I have greatest regard for them, and I have great appreciation for their batting talent and abilities. But look, Rahul, Murli, Pujara, Rahane, they are very different from Kohli. Their whole technique, their body and everything is different from Kohli. What Kohli can do, maybe Kohli is a superstar who may not need much practices. But Rahul, Murli, Pujara and Rahane, they need their body to be acclimatized to the local conditions. Let their sleep cycles settle down to the local conditions. And then only they will be able to give up their best. And therefore, the situation was much more challenging for the others rather than for Kohli. Same was true for the bowlers. Even in a local condition, they have to see how much of control they will have on their bowls, how much they have to swing, what is the length of line they have to take. And this becomes evident only, they settle into their rhythm only when they play in the local conditions. Unfortunately, our bowlers didn't get sufficient time to play in the local conditions. Even then, hats off to them, the way they performed. It was only because of their efforts that India were able to salvage some sort of a reputation by winning the last test at Johannesburg. However, it is very sad commentary on the Indian cricket at the moment, where the cricket board on one side, that is BCCI, and the cricket administrators appointed by the Supreme Court, headed by Vinod Rai, with Diana Adalji and Vikram Lemay. And it's unfortunate that the great cricket historian Ramchandra Guha left in disgust. But even the three-man committee, which is now functional, aided and abetted by the BCCI's officials, have not been able to give a proper direction to the cricket. And therefore, the ill planning and lack of long-term planning is causing a lot of trouble to the Indian cricket at the moment. I hope in times to come, the lessons that we have learned at the moment in South Africa will be taken up seriously by the committee appointed by the Supreme Court and as well as by the officials of the BCCI. I hope both of them have learned the lessons from the past mistake, which should be rectified at the earliest so that the Indian team attains the same height which they had attained in the recent past.